Love for nude archery, reports of the conservative movement's demise have been greatly exaggerated. So says my next guest. He came out with a book last month called After the Hangover, The Conservatives' Road to Recovery. But he's also the founder and editor-in-chief of the legendary magazine, the great magazine, The American Spectator. We welcome to the program the author and my first boss ever, R. Emmett Tyrrell, Jr. I'm told his good friends call him Bob, so I hope he'll let me. Hi, Bob.
Good to be with you, Greg.
Yeah. So are you still mad at me about the night you had Ronald Reagan at your house, and you think I stole something from you?
I'm not mad at you, but the truth of the matter is that you entered my library without the Secret Service permission, yes. And you and Ed McFadden stole several pre-Castro cigars. The good news is they were terrible cigars, but the bad news is I was deceived.
I swear, cigars make me throw up. But now
I know why you were throwing up.
Yes, exactly. But I'll tell you what I did steal out of your house. Ronald Reagan came to his house for dinner. This is a rarity. He only does this like once a year. He shows up, massive motorcade, sneaks in through the back of your house. You stand there, you see him, you think it's a guy in a Reagan mask, but it's him. He has dinner. I come and I meet him. I can't even speak. I go to the kitchen. You guys have dinner. There's a couple of famous people there every year. And then when they took the meal, I took Reagan's dinner. I stole his dinner, and I ate it. So I actually ate his chicken.
Oh, wow. That's a true legend.
It's a true legend. And I also stole his underwear.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about
I'm kind of interested to find out if those cigars really were pre-Castro, Greg. You went all over the saying pre-Castro.
So I got to ask you about the book. That's not the book. Your book, Hangover. The metaphor is, I imagine that the election was a giant party in which we were finally all waking up from.
No, it wasn't the election. It was the last several years of the Bush administration.
Okay.
And all these politicians I kept encountering in Washington who were Republicans were wobbly at the knees, bleary-eyed, and runny nose. And I said to myself, these people have been on a bender. They've been spending money like drunken sailors, and I mean no offense to drunken sailors.
Yes.
But I thought that after the hangover, I would explain the history of the conservative movement.
Yeah.
And by the way, there's a section in there about Ronald Reagan and my experiences with Ronald Reagan. I had a lot of personal experiences with these people. But moving right on, we've got a future to challenge, and I do it in 2010 and 2012, and I think the future's ours.
What can you learn from liberals? Because you have a chapter on the things that they do really well. What can conservatives learn?
Well, first of all, you have to understand that the liberal and the conservative are so different; they're almost different species.
Yeah.
And that's because of their political libidos. The political libido of a liberal is utterly unrestrained. It's the political libido of a nymphomaniac at times the political libido of a sex offender. Whereas the political libido of a conservative is much more restrained, almost gentlemanly and ladylike, and that's the problem.
Yes.
They need to learn a little bit about activism in politics. I mean, politics, democratic politics, is a great gregarious pursuit, and sometimes liberals, conservatives aren't quite as outgoing as they ought to be.
You know, it's changing. You see, like Andrew Breitbart is one of these guys that is actually taking that advice and going out there and acting like a liberal, which is aggressive, you know, and going after people.
Like Yates, I understand he's had a monkey glands implant. So Yates did it, you know, to improve his libido.
I had no idea. I learned something new every day on this show.
That sounds cheaper than Viagra. I'll look into that.
Well, the stuff you order is really cheap.
Yeah.
Right off the streets. Yeah. It's M&M's painted in weird color. Why do conservatives always seek acceptance from liberals?
They don't always seek. You're talking about in the book After the Hangover, you're talking about a section in that book where I talk about the conservatives who snipe at each other, the conservatives who are opportunistic.
Yeah.
And those people they're just doing it to advance themselves.
Yeah.
Whereas we do have a model of conservatives who have had a give and take, a productive give and take, that is, in my opinion, kind of the template for the future for conservatives, and that is the way Mark Sean Hannity and Rush Limbaugh relate to each other. That's the way conservatives should relate to each other. A good-natured give and take. You don't always have to agree, but take an interest in each other and don't diminish each other. David Brooks, David Frum, and Christopher Buckley. I mean, those people are diminished conservatives to get ahead.
Yeah. You like the Tea Parties?
Yes, I think that, and you know why I like the Tea Party movement? First of all, and after the Hangover, I talk about the origin of the movement. These people are the kinds of people that were there at the origination of the movement. They love freedom, they love limited government, and they're my kind of people.
Yeah. I got time for one more question. You hired me in 1988. Is that when it all went downhill?
Well, no, actually, that's when it all began.
Yes.
And Bill Clinton will tell you it all began.
It all started with me going to the American Spectator. Do you have fond memories of American Spectator at that time, or do you have any memories of me working there?
Well, I have many memories of you working there. It's the American Spectator that I tend to get a little blurry.
That was all the wine. He got me a lot of free wine. I have to give me credit for that.
How do you know it was free?
I never had to pay for it. I was getting paid $12,000 a year. My take-home check was about $700 a month.
We paid a lot in those days.
Yeah, we did. I lived with 3 old ladies in Arlington, Virginia. Yeah. Needless to say, my romantic life was amazing. Bob, pleasure. Please come back. I hope the book sells like crazy. After the Hangover.